Hello everyone, this is Archive12, and I've got a story for you. This just happened like about a half an hour ago, and I've been thinking about whether or not I should be making this video, but you know what? I already told the cupcake story, so this may very well trump it, and that's not a good thing, let's just put it that way. I'm putting this disclaimer out here right now. This is going to have some very vulgar language in it. I'm recording this in my back room on my break, so pardon the shaky camera, but I gotta be quick. But yeah, there's gonna be some very vulgar language in it. None of these words are condoned by YouTube, so there's a very low chance that this video is gonna get monetized. But this story deserves to be told. And for the record, I did end up correcting the matter. I'll explain that at the end of the video. But yeah, so just a moment ago, I had a customer call me on the phone, and already there's chaos in the back. I'm hearing a kid, probably maybe between the ages of like 8 and 13 years old, just like going off the rails. I think she's in a car, I'm not sure, but she's right on. As soon as I pick up the phone, she's yelling at him to shut up, and I'm just like, oh boy. And so she starts the conversation off by asking, I don't know if this is really like too late in the day to ask for this, but do you guys have, I need your largest chocolate cake possible. I'm like, okay, that's a simple request. I'm like, okay, I can go check on that. And she's like, I want your largest chocolate cake because my son's new girlfriend is allergic to chocolate. And I stop and I'm like, what? And she's like, I want your largest chocolate cake because my son's new girlfriend is allergic to chocolate. And I'm like, do you mean you want to avoid chocolate cake? And she's like, no, I want chocolate cake. Do you have chocolate cake or not? And I'm like, oh, so it's gonna go this direction. Okay then. So I'm like, yes, I have chocolate cake. I need to check to see what sizes there are. And she stops my conversation with her to yell at the kid again. And I hear the words, get in the crate, being uttered, which then makes me think, okay, so maybe she's not in a car. But telling a kid to get in a crate is very concerning. And I'm like, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go check on the size of our cakes. And I just put the phone down before she can respond. I'm just like, oh my God. And so I go around and I check on the cakes and I come back and I'm like, okay, so the two largest cakes I have are an 8-inch round double layer fudge cake or a chocolate cake with chocolate buttercream icing. That's a single layer quarter sheet. And she's like, oh, that is fantastic. Can you send one of them to me? And then she stops and yells at the kid again. I hear an audible smack followed by the kid crying out. And she turns like, I'm sorry, my son's just being a little bitch. And she said it pretty much like that. My son's being just a little bitch. I'm like, holy shit, lady. Oh my God. And then she continues the conversation. I'm like, okay, so what did you say? Or what did you say? And I'm like, okay, so I have a quarter sheet cake that's a single layer with chocolate buttercream icing and a double layer 8-inch round fudge cake. And she's like, oh, that is fantastic. Can you send one of those to me with a dildo on top? I'm like, I'm sorry, we don't have any of those. And right about this moment, of course, a father and his, I'm guessing, 8-year-old daughter and 11-year-old daughter are looking at my cake case. So I have to be very careful with what words I say at this point. Because they're pretty much standing right in front of me. And so I'm like, I'm sorry, we don't carry any object like that. And she's like, what do you mean you don't carry anything like that? I'm like, I'm sorry, we don't carry any object like that. And she's like, okay, well, if you can't do a dildo, can you put a vibrator on top of it? I'm like, ma'am, I don't know where you think you're calling, but this is a bakery at a grocery store. We don't carry objects like that. And she's like, you don't carry anything like that? Like not even a little bullet vibrator or, you know, like pocket pussy or anything? And I'm like, no, we don't carry anything like that at all. And she's like, well, what the fuck? what the actual fuck? What kind of pussy-ass bullshit is this? And I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can help you. She's like, you guys need to get off your asses, stop being little pussies, and get with the times. I'm like, would you like to speak with my manager? And she's like, no, I don't want to fucking speak with your manager. I want to get my cake. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I can help you. We don't even have delivery people that send cake out. Like, that's not something we do. And she's like, okay, well, you know what? Fuck you guys. This was the worst customer experience I've ever had. Screw you. I'm trying to remember all the words she said. She threw a bunch of shit at me. And she ended with, I'm never calling this store again. And I'm like, okay, I hope you have a good day. And she ends it with, fuck off, click, and just hangs up the phone. And I'm just like, I hang the phone up and I stare over at the deli department. I'm like, oh my God. And yeah, just holy shit. For those who are wondering, I did end up getting in contact with Child Protective Services, and I sent them her phone number. I don't know if they're going to have enough information to follow up on that, but I did tell them this exact same story over the phone right before I started recording this. So if that child is actually, you know, in the situation that we think that he's in based on what I've heard, hopefully things will get checked out. But yeah. What do you think? Does that beat the crazy cupcake story? It would be funny if it wasn't a little terrifying for the kid, but yeah. Just yeah. Anyway, I gotta go back to work. So thank you for joining me. This is Archive 12, and I shall see you in the next video.